distinction. You guys have very wonderful experiences, different experiences that brought you here to this point. And with those varied experiences, that's where you find yourself here this evening. I know that many of you, both the graduates as well as parents, extended family members, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, mothers, and fathers, have been waiting for this day for a number of years. You know, when I left Spartanburg after the achievement that you guys are celebrating this evening, USC in particular was a big part of my life. This Upstate campus served for me as a young man as a source of guidance and counsel during my time here, because I came through the underground program associated with the school. It was a constant, and it remains a constant source of talent and support for my burgeoning law practice, and I still rely on a number of people here. And it serves as one of the foundations for a dream that this community has helped me to accomplish as a member of county council, because this school does sit within my county council district. So I feel a tremendous connection with this university, and that's why I'm so honored that I'm here this evening, having the ability to stand before you. I also would be remiss if I didn't share my remarks with a person that I had a chance to share the commencement not too long ago, the late Dr. Andrew Sorensen. He was a long-term friend of the University of South Carolina, serving as the president of the entire university system. And Dr. Sorensen was a visionary leader who recognized the potential in people and helped fuel their success with his wisdom and his counsel. And I can say, standing here, I'm one of those persons who is fortunate to spend some time with him and to spend some time within his shadow. What can I say to you this evening that you haven't already heard or that you won't hear? Well, over the years, and I'll say I'm still a young guy, I think, I've had an opportunity to travel to a few different places, and I've gone down a few different paths in life. And there may be some lessons that I can try to impart this evening or share some things that I've seen within my time period here on this earth. As you sit here tonight, you are at the starting point of a wonderful, wonderful journey. But it's a journey that can only begin with your decision to take what you're getting this evening and to go forward with that. See, the United States, even with our current challenges that we hear about from day to day, we're still a nation of accomplishment. We stand as the greatest nation on the face of this earth. And this ceremony is a great testament to that. Undoubtedly, you have had to face some challenges and some struggles in order for you to be here this evening and to participate in particular in this commencement. But the unspoken requirement of the commencement is now that you must go forward. Indeed, you must commence. There are countless contributions and achievements that never occur from people that wouldn't take a chance, all due to a failure. And that failure is the failure to begin. You know, the legendary educator and mentor to the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King was a man known by the name of Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays from Greenwood, South Carolina. One of 8 siblings, grew up on a farm in the Cherokee. Dr. Mays, in his life, had to fight against his father in order to go forward to try to receive an education. It took him 6 years to finish what you are accomplishing this evening. But he went forth as an older person and got his master's later on after going to college and received his PhD and became the long-serving president of Morehouse College. In words that Dr. Mays shared with many others, as well as Dr. King, he said, the tragedy in life is not reaching the goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it's a calamity to not to dream at all. It's not a disgrace to not reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to not reach for them. Keep that in mind as you sit here this evening. You know, early in my middle school years, and I'm glad my mother's not here, I would be a child that was recognized by my teachers as having some potential. but I didn't always live up to it. You know, I grew up in a rough part of Spartanburg and often found myself falling in along with others, attempting to go along with the crowd. But unfortunately, I found myself often getting in trouble, getting into fights, even being suspended. And at some point, having almost the opportunity to go through the criminal justice system. Years later, trying to get myself on the right path with the help of others. In high school, got involved in the JROTC program, and found myself as an average C student. You know, it wasn't until my mother, in her 40s, returned to a program similar to this, going through the same school I found myself in high school, returning to a program to receive her high school equivalency diploma. That I knew I had to turn things around. And I asked my mom, what was the reason for you to want to come back and try to go to school now after all these years? Now that I'm going to high school. Come on, Mom, that's not cool. Well, she said, if I'm going to have an educated son, then I need to get an education. That woke me up. Me being the average C student in high school, I knew I had to get on the ball. Well, I was 16 years old. So at that point, I decided to move forward in my life. And decided I'm going to college. Decided to stop just going along with the crowd, trying to fit in, trying to be the cool guy. Stop worrying about having a car, worrying about who I'm going to drive around in my car and who I would impress. And so I decided to move forward towards college. And I'll let you know, it's with great skepticism by some. My mom will tell you, if you talk to some of my teachers from the 9th, 10th, possibly even 11th grade, they would find out, some did over the years, what I was trying to do in school. They would say, what? Michael Brown, come on now. No. And to find that I'm now a lawyer, I know blows a lot of their minds. So if I can do it, in terms of just being a lawyer, just imagine what each and every one of you can achieve in life. That can be so much greater. Well, I did have an opportunity to go off to college. And one of the things I remember telling my mother that I hope I didn't have to come back to Spartanburg because there wouldn't be any money to help keep me in school. Well, my mother told me to go to school, do my part in order to do the best of my ability, and she would keep her end of the bargain by helping me financially. Well, time went by. I studied hard. I kept my end of the bargain by being the best I could. I went from being a C student in high school, graduated with 2.5, to a two-time who's who among students in the American College and University, 4-time National Dean's List, presidential scholar, and even a USSA academic All-American. And at the end of my career, I look back and I said, well, Mom, I hope I made you proud. She said, well, you kept your end of the bargain. You didn't have to come back home. So apparently I kept my end of the bargain as well. But again, all that started with the decision to go forth and try to do something from where I found myself leaving as a young man. And now that you've accomplished something great and honorable and important here this evening, it's time for you to move forward to decide what's next. But you must not let anything deter you from taking those first steps. You have an abundance of opportunities before you. So don't spend a lot of time trying to choose the exact perfect opportunity. You might miss the right opportunity. Recognize that there will be failures, there will be challenges, and acknowledge that there will be obstacles. As you know, by being here this evening, nothing comes easy that's worth having. But you will learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. Well, there is very little in learning when you become quote-unquote successful. The education comes from what you had to go through, the trials, tribulations, and sometimes failures in order to get where you want to go. A number of years ago, I had the opportunity to learn 2 big lessons the hard way. And this relates to school. One lesson was from the time in which I failed to properly submit my final application to graduate school. I was going to the Ohio State University. Coming from a small college. Not necessarily being completely sure of myself. Ohio State is the largest school in America. Over 54,000 students. My program was a small program, only with 60 students in it. Little old me, coming from a small undergraduate school that had less than 3,000 students, I was nervous. I had to take an exam to get in graduate school. I delayed that exam as long as I could because I was nervous. From having the initial opportunity to even get an invitation from Ohio State. Well, I submitted that final test score 3 days after it was due by the university. Ohio State was true to their deadline. I found out the score that I had gave me a full ride to graduate school. So I had to take, for a 2-year program, at least 1 year student loans as an out-of-state student.